Ernest Green's bravery, determination, and self-control helped push the civil rights movement forward throughout his journey as a part of the Little Rock Nine. He faced many challenges every day, and he is a true hero to overcome them for the better of America. The only way to fix a problem in society is to stand up to it, and Ernest Green was one of the brave people who stood up for what's right, even when it's difficult. The actions of Ernest Green contributed greatly towards the civil rights movement. Ernest Green was born in a town called Little Rock on September 22, 1941. His parents were Lothair and Ernest Green Sr. Green. He had one brother, Scott, and one sister, Treopia Washington. Ernest was a student at Dunbar Junior High School until he transferred to Horace Mann High School the year before he would be faced with the biggest decision of his life. At the end of his junior year at Horace Mann, Green decided to attend the all-white Little Rock Central High School in fall of 1957 and help desegregate one of the nation's largest schools.
I signed a sheet of paper the spring of 1957 that said if I would like to be considered as a transfer student to Central High School. The night before school was to open, Governor Forbes came on television and said he was calling out the National Guard to bar our entrance, and he was going to, and white students would be able to go to class. I had a small group of clergy, both black and white ministers, who were part of the cadre that helped to escort us to the school.
Ernest Green was setting out with 8 other black students who wanted to help the movement by desegregation in schools. This group became known as the Little Rock Nine. As they approached the school, there would be constant hatred from white students.
The mob and the noise and all of that, it didn't seem to me I was going to get into school that first day, but when I got home that evening was when I finally saw the news footage of Elizabeth Eckford. Elizabeth is sort of the face of Little Rock. She was the lone student, the girl with the mob behind her.
The goal of this was to desegregate schools and prevent the unfairness of the Jim Crow laws from continuing. If he was to get threatened or hurt, he would have to resist the urge to fight back. This would help create an awareness of the problem. Throughout that year, Green persevered through a year of daily harassment and threats by white students and civilians.
The year was kind of like going to war. There were a few teachers who were very supportive. Most of them they tried to sit on the sideline. It may have been Nixon who talked about the silent majority. Many of them were in that category. There were a few students who attempted to befriend us, but they also were intimidated and harassed, and their families, businesses were threatened with them having much or anything to do with us. So that by the middle of the year, the internal politics of the school had really been taken over by the most rabid segregationists. So my view was I was going to stick with it, and that this was something that I thought, was worth accomplishing, and that I needed to buckle down and try to complete that year.
Green faced unfair treatment on a day-to-day basis. While many people would have gave up, Ernest kept pushing to fight for what's right. The mobs became so bad that President Eisenhower needed to take action. He deployed the 101st Airborne Division of soldiers to protect them. These weren't just any type of soldiers. They were some of the finest in America.
The harassment, telephone calls, the threats, all that began to increase. But, the flip side of that was that, I could see the home stretch. And I saw the importance of that diploma. My biggest problem was this one course that I was struggling through in physics, and the attitude of the teacher. I I had a double-edged problem. I had a difficult course, and he was a racist. And a difficult teacher and a racist on top of that. That was a deadly combination. Luckily, I got through the course. So that there were people at various points along the way who really served as kind of, the assist and helped us through, particularly helped me through. But as I got closer to graduation, there was no way, that I wasn't going to graduate, and that there's no way I wasn't going to show up for the ceremony. I mean, I figured I had deserved it. I didn't know all the importance of it, but I knew enough to know that receiving that diploma from Central was going to be an important accomplishment, and that was something that I wanted to stick with.
On May 27th, 1958, Green graduated from Central High School as he became the first black man to graduate there.
My graduation, I had a special guest. Dr. King was speaking at a college about 40 miles from Little Rock. The night of my graduation, he came up, sat with my family. I had an opportunity to meet him a number of other times. In fact, I was in college and I was in graduate school when the march occurred, and I and my fiance and another fellow, we drove all night from East Lansing, Michigan to Washington to be part of the March on Washington. So we all should show up for the march, because it seemed to me the political statement it was trying to make was one that the country needed to hear. And obviously, where we are today is an occurrence from that.
After his graduation, he got a degree at Michigan State University. He worked in many successful careers. He found a wife and happily raised many children. In 2011, Green was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Ernest Green's actions led to an advancement in the civil rights movement. His bravery, determination, and self-control were on display throughout his life, and ultimately led him to making a huge impact on the civil rights